The sound in this video was processed by iZotope.
Yep, started, rolling, clap.
This guy.
Let's go.
Let's go, let's do it.
Hello everyone, here is Max. I'm at TSR 19 with Jason, who apparently is a synth genius.
Wow, less the genius, but I am a synth.
This is going to be an experimental video on my channel because, well, I never had synths before, but we need to try the video setup we've built on something,
absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
So we've got two things. I don't know what to call them.
Well, let me help you there, Max, and thank you very much for inviting me onto your channel with this little feature. This is a Moog Grandmother. It's a monophonic synth.
Grandmother.
It's your grandmother.
Oh yeah. Monophonic synth.
Monophonic, which means, in simple terms, it's a single sound at any one time. You can't play a chord. If you played a chord, it would simply play one of those notes.
The latest one.
One of those, the latest ones you play. So one note at a time. It's a very basic form of synthesis, but it's a very classic instrument, as you'll have probably heard on many classic sort of 70s classic rock music. I mean, Deep Purple, very fond of the Moog, a bit more proggy, but Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Genesis, although Genesis weren't users of Moog, yes, those kind of bands, very fond of the monophonic synthesizer.
All right, what is that?
So, well, we've actually got two synths. So this is a little French company called Arturia, who make a lot of software instruments, but have branched out a while back and became incredibly popular for making really affordable and quite portable analog synthesizers. Now, this is...
Do you know how much this is?
Oh, it's very inexpensive.
Sounds somewhere between
under 300 euros.
Seriously?
I would think. Yeah, it's very.
Okay,
and it's a USB interface, so you can use it as a DAW controller, as well as having all the fun you can.
Right, I see. There is a USB interface. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, so you could USB into that, and the Grandmother as well. The Grandmother is 899 euros. So it's quite a bit more of an investment. I mean, you would really have to want a synthesizer, and this particular synthesizer, to spend that much money on it. As for someone who was perhaps a little bit interested in getting into them, I think the MicroBrute is a really good starting point.
Is this one a mono synth as well?
It's also a monosynth, yes. So,
but do I understand it right? It only has one sound at a time and no presets. So whatever you want, you need to dial it in, right?
if you get the best sound you've ever heard, you leave the room, someone comes in, twiddles it, you come back, you will never find that sound again.
Well,
unless you write them down, which you can do.
That's pretty unfortunate.
It is, and that's the fun part of these things, is that once you've got that sound and lost it,
you can never have it.
It's the quest to get that back, and that's exactly what we all try and do with our synths.
That's the game.
That is the game, and it's a good game. I suppose it's like getting a good guitar tone. You know?
Well, I pretty much can remember that one. Well, we don't have this many knobs usually.
Exactly. Well, how many pedals do you use?
5 maybe?
5. And how many knobs per pedal?
Maybe 3.
Okay, so...
That's 15.
That's 15. I think you've got about 20... No, is it? Yeah, an equivalent amount of knobs. So it's not too far away from that. And then you got your amp.
This actually looks like pedals. Look, one segment, another part.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is divided into different kind of sections.
Yeah. And of course, that's your tube screamer.
It seems like one, yeah.
That's your chorus pedal.
Yeah, right.
And overdrive. All of these have been divided up into an almost modular kind of stacking. And this is a semi-modular synth, which means you can actually connect things together to make an even more interesting and even more complex sound. But it works out the box. And this is quite a good tool for learning synthesis, because you know that you've got 2 oscillators, 1 and 2. They are blue. Your different waveforms here. And then that goes into the mixer, so you have volumes here. At that point, you can add noise in.
I see.
So if I get a little sound together, so we'll use this one because...
You're really fluent. I have no idea what you're doing. You just it works. I mean, so let's begin right here. What if I change anything in this section, what will that do?
This is the modulation. So much like a vibrato or like tremolo, any of those kind of effects, even phaser, flanger, and chorus, they're all modulation effects. So this does exactly the same. So if you hold the note down, right, what we do then is we root to the pitch of the oscillator.
We can't talk while playing.
We can't talk while playing. This is the lovely thing about this is that yes. So if I root a sine wave to the pitch,
Okay.
and you play a note. Nothing will happen. Let's try that again on camera this time. Yeah, so that should affect. We're having a bit of issues with the synth. That what I will is analog.
I think I know why. Because look, this one says wave out.
No. It should work without anything being plugged in. So this should actually just work. So let's see.
Are we supposed to connect them somehow? Whoa.
Right, now that's working. It was this. Okay, so
There just was a motorcycle sound.
so if you if you need to make a motorcycle sound, this can do that, and it's quite useful to be able to spend €900 on something that will provide you with one motorcycle noise that you could perhaps play off your phone.
All right.
Okay, so that's the so it would give you vibrato. We also have reverb built in.
But basically, I can set up something here, and then I can control the amount of it.
That's
with
right.
The modulation wheel.
So the amount is the modulation wheel.
That's what I was missing. Okay.
When you utilize, if we look at the top-down version, when you utilize the semi-modular aspect and plug in, you can directly route these things. And there's also another waveform which is sample and hold, which gives you a really random waveform, which is quite fun if you route that into your filter. Now the filter, if we're going to skip the mixer and skip the utility, the filter is very much like a wah pedal. Because a wah is a very basic filter. So you actually get your oscillator into the wah and you can control it as if you were with this. So if you want to hit the key. Now we can also route the modulation to it, so you can get a very pure
Yoo-hoo!
There it is. There it is.
Wait. That's so much fun.
And another thing that this has, which I don't know of any other synth that has this, it has a spring reverb. So obviously all you guitar players out there who will know how to do this,
Yeah.
they don't do that. So that's something that you guys will know better than most synth players.
There is an actual spring reverb inside.
A real spring.
Which is really good. Can I connect my guitar into it somehow?
Yeah, it's very common, and again, a lot of the sort of more experimental progressive rock music of the 70s used to utilize a lot of the modular stuff and plug directly into the filter. So there's an input there, which I think you could probably use for a signal. Coincidentally, I mean, if we look at the top down, the MicroBrute, this has got a very simplified version of what we've just seen there.
Yeah.
But it's also got a little modulation matrix, so you can still
Connect this one to this one.
Yes, yes, you could keep both of them, but within itself as well. So you have got other things that you can route here. So you can route your LFO to the filter like this. And of course, nothing. There we go. I mean,
I have no idea what's going on. What did it sound like without the patch?
I think exactly the same.
No.
Nothing at all. Right. So there you go. I don't know what I've done there, but I've broken it. Almost exactly the same. Because a lot of the things you'd want to do routing-wise are kind of inbuilt to these kind of semi-modular. Modular just means individual components put together. I mean, the colour of the Grandmother, if we look at the Grandmother again, the colours are representative of maybe single individual modules that you would put together to make your own synthesizer, as was in the early days and is a very popular thing now. It's very expensive to do that, but it works as a complete unit. So the same with, if we look at the Arturia again, that's the other camera. Yeah, we look at this again. We've got a similar kind of approach, whereas it's not as obvious, but you've got little squares around. So if on close inspection, it should
those
be
like
quite,
modules. Yeah,
quite straightforward. So
So if you know the basics, how modules work, you should be able to somehow control them, which I have no idea about at all.
As someone who approached synthesizers from the world of guitars, my first synthesizer, I had no clue. It was as simple as the MicroBrute, and I just fiddled and played and had a good time with it, and I still do that. Nothing's changed. I just know better what all the parameters do within the synth. Right. So,
can you dial a sound that we can use to play like an actual melody, not something like extraterrestrial?
No science fiction. Okay, so let's it's almost there anyway. So we turn off. Yeah, that's cool. And what's going on? It's not very metal, is it?
They're not in tune.
Absolutely. That's another thing. Analog circuitry is renowned for not maintaining any kind of tuning at all.
Okay, so
it drifts.
You tune it in the beginning of the gig, and then it's like a matter of luck.
Well, imagine not tuning your guitar in a gig. Would you do that?
I have a top lock and floor draw system, so it will be perfectly in tune at the end of the gig.
Damn it.
Nailed it.
Did nail it. Brilliant. Well, there we go. I think that's it. Do you have any is there any other questions you'd like to perhaps that the viewers might want to answer?
Do you understand that's right? This kind of stuff are kind of popular nowadays, aren't they?
Yes, very much so. And I think it's risen in popularity quite steadily over the last 10, maybe 20 years. I mean, it's never been a better time to get into synthesis. There are so many different synths around in so many different styles that you can spend a lot of money to get something that's sounds superb and will teach you and you won't outgrow very quickly, like the Grandmother or like the MicroBrute, which will definitely get you in. And even if you outgrow it, there's some sounds in there that, as you heard, I mean
that's pretty aggressive, yeah.
That's really, really gnarly.
Really metal.
Absolutely metal as you like. So you won't outgrow that either. So it'd be an investment. So yeah.
If you were choosing one, which one would you go for?
Well,
That's a tricky question, right? You would probably take two.
I do. I have many. But if I was, it's difficult, isn't it? Because I don't own either of these, and I have wanted both of them in my time. So I think it's horses for courses. It depends on what I'm doing. I mean, for me, this it sounds like a lot of music that I love.
The classics.
So it's an absolute classic. So if I play this, I'm already creating sounds that I am that live inside me. You know, so it's
pretty
that
much
kind
like
of thing.
like a Stratocaster for
Like
us.
a Strat, it's absolutely like that. You know those songs, you know where they are, and even though the pedals and the amps are different, you can distinguish where it is. Whereas this is very different. I mean, it will give you something that is unusual, is not something that you may be familiar with, and that is also a really good thing. Plus, it's about a quarter of the price, so maybe a third of the price. So. It's one of those things. Not £900 if you're going to buy a synth for the first time is a lot of money to spend on something you might not enjoy.
Absolutely.
Whereas a couple of €100 plus, I mean, they're well built, good solid plastic. The knobs are really firm, so you won't be disappointed. And the sounds that come out of this are really, as we heard, really gnarly. So
these are really solid, actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can confirm that. You do have a YouTube channel, right?
I do have a YouTube channel.
Is it about synths?
It is about synths, although I will be looking at some guitar synth stuff and some samplers.
This is what I wanted to do. Yeah, so if you want to know more about synths, check his channel. I'll give you a link in the description below. What it's called?
It's called GetJervis, and I don't take a very technical view of the synthesis, although there's a lot of technical information. I try and have some fun with it because there's a lot of technical stuff out there. And I like to be entertained when I watch things.
It's just fun to watch, regardless of what it is about. Right?
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so I think that's it for now.
Brilliant. Yeah, I
right?
hope you've enjoyed and I hope you've found it informative
or entertaining, at least. Well, I had a lot of fun. This is like a completely new parallel reality to me, and after TSR, I'm hoping I'll have a little bit more knowledge about it. We'll see. Anyway, thanks for watching. You know what to do. Subscribe, hit that bell button right there. Check his channel, check my channel, check maybe Thomann's channel because they have plenty of stuff here. By the way, there must be a playlist.
TSR
19.
We'll do the TSR 19 hashtag and there's a few things.
Yeah, you will find all the diaries, vlogs and stuff and videos from TSR right there.
Definitely.
Good. Well, that's it for now. See you next time. Bye.
I did it again. And I wasn't even trying that time.
Well,
brilliant. That was really cool. Really fun.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, hit that subscribe button right there, and don't forget about the bell button to get notifications every time I'm posting a new video. A special thanks goes to people in the list below. Those are my patrons. If you want to say thanks, hit the button on the left and join the list. Well, that's it for now. Have a good day and I'll see you soon.